Hi, my name is Timo. I'm one of the lead maintainers of Aries Framework JavaScript and have worked a lot on the framework over the last few years. I did a video on the 0.3.0 release on the framework, so I thought why not also do one for the 0.4.0 release of the framework. We added a lot of new features, there were a lot of contributors, we merged a lot of PRs, and I want to highlight five of the big new features and changes to the framework. The first one is we added support for OpenID for verified credential issuance. This means next to DITCOM, you can now also receive credentials using the OpenID for verified credential standards. And we will extend that to also support OpenID for verifiable presentation, so you can share credentials in a presentation later on. This just means you now have more choice besides DITCOM, and the OpenID for verified credential issuance protocol can provide a simpler flow than some of the DITCOM exchange flows if you're just interested in verified credential issuance. Another big feature, or like a non-feature, is that we are not dependent on the INI SDK anymore. You used to have to install the INI SDK when you used Aries Framework JavaScript. And now it's an optional dependency, which means you can plug in your own wallet, your own storage, whatever you want, but you can still use the INI SDK. We've also added some default replacement libraries that you can use, for which we have Aries Askar for secure storage and crypto. We have Indie VDR, which allows you to read and write to Indie networks, and we have AnonCreds RS, which is the AnonCreds credential format implementation that used to be in the INI SDK, but is now a separate library. To extend on that, the AnonCreds RS library that we have now integrated instead of INI SDK allows you to also leverage the new Ledger Agnostic AnonCreds specification, which means we're not tied specifically anymore to Indie networks to use AnonCreds credentials. You can use it with, for example, the Cheqd network, or I've seen people use it with Cardano, or you can implement it like on a web server with DitWeb. So this makes the credential format usable besides just with Indie networks, and Aries Framework JavaScript is actually the first framework to fully implement this new specification. In addition, we've also, as I already mentioned with the Ledger Agnostic AnonCreds, we've added an integration with the Cheqd network. The Cheqd team helped us out, and we now have a Cheqd resolver, a Cheqd registrar, and we can also read and write objects to AnonCreds objects to the Cheqd network. So we're very excited about it, and is provided as part of the default packages we provide, and you can install it using the Aries Framework Cheqd package. And last but not least is we've added support for W3C JWT credential. We already supported JSON LD credentials inside the framework, and we have now extended that with JWT credentials. This also works with the OpenID for verified credential issuance services and modules we have. And it allows you to, it's a bit of a simpler credential format. You can't do any of the complex proof objects that you can do with JSON LD credentials, but if you have existing JWT software, or just have very simple requirements for what the credential needs to be, then JWT credentials can be a very good option to get started very quickly. And we have also done some experiments already with supporting selective disclosure JWTs, which we hope to add in a future version of AFJ, and then allows you to selectively disclose JWT credentials. So if you're interested in any of these new features, changes, have any questions, or would like to see how it is to work with Aries Framework JavaScript, specifically the new release, two of my colleagues, Karim and Berend, and also another lead maintainer of the framework, Ariel, will be giving a workshop demo on the new Aries Framework JavaScript release. They'll show you how to set it up, how you can issue credentials with it, and be there to answer any questions you may have. There's 3 hours, so everything that you would like to have covered can be covered in that workshop. So if you're interested, make sure to attend. I'll add a link to the to the description of this video, and hope to see you there.